Hey, welcome to a sizzling episode of Busboy Millionaire. So, I'm making breakfast for my son. Good old-fashioned bacon. All of my kids, all of them, all two of them, were raised on bacon. It's classic. They love breakfast. They love the classics. They have breakfast for dinner is a staple in my house. Even though my wife's a great cook, kids will, 2 times at least a week, they will want breakfast for dinner. It's a classic. Nothing's changed with that. And which brings me to my topic, and what we're going to talk about today is all about really the fundamentals of real estate investing hasn't changed. Everything's kind of the same. So stay tuned. We're going to get more into it. Okay, back talking about the fundamental ideas about real estate investing. If you look over the years, go back to any book, any history lesson, anything that has to do with real estate investing, it's all basically been the same. There's been no major advances in the way people invest in real estate. It's always a classic. There's a bunch of different ways you can invest, but not even the internet has changed the way you can invest and grow wealth in real estate. I think probably one of the biggest changes maybe has been Airbnb and short-term rental, that sort of thing. With the advent of the internet, that made that far more accessible. But people rented places out before. Like you could rent a cottage for a week or a month or whatever. You could do that before Airbnb. You just had to find a rental place and they would connect you, et cetera, et cetera. So, but the fundamentals of how you invest in real estate haven't changed in decades. It's either you buy a place and, sorry, something fell. You buy a place, you own it, you live in it, it goes up in value, you sell it, and you have that profit in the end. That's number one, the easiest way to invest in real estate. Buy a house and live in it. 2, buy a house and rent it out. Nothing's changed. People have done that for decades, if not centuries. Some of the greatest empires or fortunes in the world were built on real estate. And there was just simple. Buy land, build a house, sell it. Buy a house on a piece of land, rent it out. It goes up in value, you sell it later, you make money, or you make money managing the property and the difference between the rent and the mortgage. Wholesaling. People have been doing that for a long time, and wholesaling is going and buying a distressed property at a lower price and then immediately selling it to somebody else that's willing to pay a premium. You could buy it, fix it up a little bit, and then sell it. As a wholesaler, you can do that. Then the whole bigger idea of BRRRR, which is buy, rehab, rent, and then refinance, which is buying a place, fixing it up, renting it out, and then refinancing it because you fixed it up and it's worth more than what you bought it for. So you take your money out. It's not a lot's changed, which is like, I was thinking about it the other day, and now things are really crazy and there's a whole lot of change, and there's a lot of technology out there that can change the way people do business in a lot of sectors. But real estate, it hasn't really changed in the way that you can invest and make money on it. It's a classic, like bacon. That's why I love it. Another great thing about it is that it's one of the easiest things for people to understand and get into. A lot of fortunes have been built on real estate based on simple investment knowledge. A lot of the huge guys in this business from before and even today are successful, and they don't have a huge education. One of the dudes that I love, hold on. This guy, maybe some of you recognize him. His name's Ben Malin, and he's got a great YouTube following. Life for Sale, you should look it up. So on the thing it says garbage to gold. So if you look at this dude, right? He looks like he's a bouncer. He doesn't look like the most educated guy in the world, and he gladly admits it. He isn't. And he started as a property manager. I don't even think he has a high school education, and he's my age actually, and I think he's my age or a year older. But he built up this like $250 million real estate portfolio by doing tried and true, simple real estate techniques: buying, fixing, selling. Still works. It's always worked. Or he rents things out. He buys hotels and rents those things out. I think yoga is gonna melt. I'm just gonna like put off this thing. I don't want it to melt. But I like him here. He's comforting. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So what I'm saying is, like, it's those fundamental real estate things that haven't changed, and that's why I believe in it as such a great investment. And I don't think a lot's going to change with it. No matter, we're getting into VR and that whole world, and you can travel without really traveling, but people are always going to need a place to live. And they're always going to want to invest in something that they can touch and feel, and they have some control over, unlike stocks. And sorry if I come off as I'm poo-pooing stocks, but I know there's a lot of people made a lot of money in stocks. But like I said before, I'm a big believer in something that you can touch and hold and change and improve yourself. You can't improve the performance of a company. If they're making bad decisions and the people that are running those companies are making bad decisions, you can't improve that. But you can take a crappy house on a great street and make it a great house and up the value. And once again, that's just been the way people have been dealing with real estate and investing and creating wealth from the beginning. And like I said, it doesn't take a whole lot of education. Hence the whole theme of my channel, this whole busboy millionaire thing. I have a high school education, but I dropped out of university. I went for 1 year and I never went any further. I think Yoda's smoking. Are you burning? Say something. Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of things you can invest in different ways, but you can count on real estate if you just know the fundamentals of just being able to understand 4 or 5 key things. Wait, I gotta get this off. 4 or 5 key strategies that have been working for decades. I want to say centuries, but yeah, maybe centuries. Could be centuries. If you know how to do that and follow some simple rules, you'll create wealth. Like, it's not rocket science, man. It's pretty simple. It's just a question of actually acting and getting on it and trying, and you will probably see how easy it is after you've done it a few times, because that's what happened with me. Like, I learned after a couple of times doing some deals, I go, this is easy, I could do this over and over again, which I did. So keep that in mind. There's different ways to get the information. That's what's changed, really. To do the research, to get that information, to do the numbers, to figure out what's a good investment or not, That's changed, which is great. You just have better tools to help you invest, which is awesome. And I believe that is one of the most important things right now too. You got, instead of having to go out there and do all the legwork, there's a lot of tools out there that help you figure things out and helps you gather the information you need to make a more informed decision. So that's great. That's something that's changed. But at the end of the day, the way you apply that information and that research and use those tools, you're still applying it against tried and true methods of investing. Buy, hold, sell, buy, fix, flip. All of those things are old and classic. Like bacon. Yeah, it's an analogy. It's not the best one, but I'm going to use it for a while. Anyways, use the modern tools, but apply them to the classic methods of investing in real estate, and you'll do well. I got to go get breakfast to my kid. Busboy Millionaire out.